Yeah, okay. Let's bring in our next guest. Stay with us, John. Chip Saltzman, he's a former manager of the Huckabee presidential campaign. Chip, those are some unfortunate, I guess, undertones that if that's what you're really trying to appeal to in South Carolina, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think what you're seeing in the last couple of really days before Saturday, before this election, everything's being thrown. It's kitchen sink time. If Newt Gingrich or Rick Santorum or whatever tries to stop Mitt Romney, they're throwing everything out there. It's all getting stirred up. You've got the Speaker's wife going on ABC tonight. You've got all the negative ads you're seeing that John has to watch when he's, trying to watch CNBC in the morning. So, I mean, it is just nonstop right now, and there's so much. This is the ultimate muddy all the waters and see what happens, because I think most people in South Carolina right now are scratching their heads trying to figure out what's what. But I still think there is some momentum for Newt Gingrich in the last couple of days. Mitt Romney, for the first time really in 52 weeks, has had a, and it's been a bad week. It wasn't a great debate. We're talking about his tax forms. We're talking about now maybe him losing Iowa. I mean, it's all the above, and we're going to see if he can't get back on track tonight. My sense of it is 10 points is too much to overtake in the last couple of days, but we're going to find out on Saturday.
John, was that true? Do you watch CNBC in the morning? Because I know from 5 o'clock on, it's all MSNBC all the time for you, with Rachel and Ed. And I mean, do you watch us in the morning?
Of course I do, Joe.
All right. All right.
How would I make it through the day? I would just like to say to Chip, though, Chip, if you had gotten your candidate to run this time, he might be leading down here.
We would have felt pretty good, I think, at this point in juncture. I would have felt really good in Iowa, and I think we could have won South Carolina this time. But he decided not to run, and I think he's having a good time right now.
That's all. Keep going, John. You got this. You got a Huckabee guy on here. Let me ask Chip. I will ask you. Are you predisposed to Newt's campaign?
Actually, not really. I mean, I haven't made a decision in this race. As John alluded to, I think my favorite candidate didn't run. I'm going to support whoever the nominee is. But look, at this point, we're talking about who's the best position to beat Barack Obama in November. I'm not sure, given the history of Newt Gingrich and all the baggage that he brings along, that he is the best candidate to beat Barack Obama. What we found out this year about Newt Gingrich, he is a great debater. And he would do really good at least 3 nights during the campaign in October against Barack Obama. I'm just not worried about the other 90-something days after the convention if we nominate him.
Right.
Chip, let me ask you this question as somebody who's been in those rooms. Tell me what happens after we get the results on Saturday. And let's say Gingrich wins or Gingrich runs very close to Mitt Romney. Of course, you're going to have Ron Paul in 3rd place. Tell me about the deliberations that Rick Perry and Rick Santorum are going to have. What would you forecast to happen? Because Santorum has seemed to lose whatever momentum he had from Iowa, and Perry's got none at all.
Well, they're not, if you believe it or not, they're not thinking about that right now. But Saturday, when those results come in, reality is going to come over pretty hard, and they're going to have to make some tough choices. And we always say presidential campaigns don't lose, they run out of money. And if they don't have enough money to go to Florida, like, for instance, if they don't have enough money to buy an airline ticket to get to Florida, they're probably going to get out Saturday night in South Carolina. Florida's an expensive state. There's TV, there's mail, there's radio. You need to have already bought your mail in Florida if you're going to compete there. My guess is Mitt Romney's already advertised on TV there.
Would you urge? I'm just wondering if Mitt Romney released his taxes, and does it matter to people whether he's filthy rich or just filthy, disgusting, unbelievably rich? I mean, let's say he made $5 million in a year, or let's say he made $20 million in a year. Is that going to make a difference? Should he do this now and just rub it all over himself and say, yeah, I do pretty well and I'd like everybody to do well, or should he wait till April?
You know, I think that's the only thing he's got. Once he said, I would do it. First of all, I don't think he should release his taxes. I would have never encouraged him to do that. He's followed the law. He's had a full disclosure. He's done everything he's supposed to. I think when you release your taxes, you get in a little bit of trouble because there's so much stuff there. But he's done everything by the law. Now that he said that he would consider doing it, the press and the other campaigns are never going to give up until they get them.
What about his college transcripts? Have we seen his college? We haven't seen the president's college transcripts. What about Mitt's college transcript?
I'm going to guess Mitt's college transcripts are pretty good.
Do you think Mitt's are pretty good? Yeah.
I'm going to guess they're pretty good.
What about the president's, John?
He was a valedictorian.
Yeah, that means straight A's down the board.
Mitt was?
Mitt was valedictorian, so we're assuming he did pretty good. I'm guessing President Obama's college transcript's not quite as good as Mitt Romney's.
Well, you know.
Well, it was the first. He was the first black president of the Harvard Law Review. Is that not good enough for you?
Oh, no, I think it's great. I'm pretty sure my college transcripts were not as good as Mitt Romney's. And I'm not sure about Harwood, but I'm pretty sure his were not either.
Well, Mitt didn't go to a lot of keggers. I didn't see him anywhere with, he wasn't at any keggers with me at Colorado. I know that. Thanks to Chip Salzman, John Harwood. Anyway, Andrew?
Good to be with you.